I'm gonna get right to the point. Itchy, scratchy, fatigued, runny nose, sneezing all the time. It's really hard to sleep at night because you just can't get this pollen out of your house the way the Japanese rooms are insulated. Everything seems to come in, and even air purifiers don't seem to help. This is maybe my least favorite times of the year. It starts around February 20th every year, and my heart starts to beat real hard because I guess I'm inflamed from the pollen. I don't know what's going on. I've never been to a doctor about it. It wasn't so bad except for 2004, which was the worst year, I think, of them all, because we had sand coming from the Gobi Desert in the spring. The winds are really strong. Certain years will bring in the orange sand from the Gobi Desert with the pollen and all sorts of other particles in the air. It is really a tough time of year for those that have any kind of allergies, and I find that the older I get, the worse it gets. I was pretty good at fighting this off. I never had a problem with this. But I also learned, I didn't move here till 2004, and I also learned that Tokyo is maybe the worst place in the entire country of Japan, and I'm gonna show you why. Right now, the pollen is off of the charts. They even have like radar maps, all right? They show you where it's really bad. Purple is like extreme. It's past red, all right? Purple is extreme areas. Now there's parts of Kyushu. I'm going to Nagasaki tomorrow, and I'm so looking forward to that just because I can get out of the pollen fumes of air of Tokyo. But right now, it's an attack right now. It's basically an all-out attack. I think this is today's weather forecast. Look at that, they do everything color-coded. You can see Tokyo is on the bottom right at the top of that stairway. And you can see it's all purples, all 5, all pollen. It's really bad. Hiroshima, which is the second one under the top, is 3 orange dots, and Ishikawa-ken, which is the green one, has just 1 dot. So the pollen there is not bad. So what we're getting here is, it's pretty rough stuff right now. It's also quite windy, so it's all blowing in from the east. Sorry, it's from the west. And let me give you a rundown through this. I think this is a pretty good way to do it by asking our friends at the AI community, ChatGPT, tell me about the pollen hay fever problems in Tokyo. This has been in the news every single year. Politicians wouldn't lose elections in Tokyo based on this, all right? In Tokyo, springtime, especially February to April, right now, is peak season for hay fever, kafunsho, due to the large amounts of pollen of cedar called sugi and cypress called hinoki. All right, I gotta roll that back here. Hold on a second. Hinoki, which is cypress, cedar, which is sugi. These two are the worst. This is a major issue for many residents right here, this one, as millions suffer from allergic reactions. Mine is subtle. There are people who are really suffering. Why is Tokyo's problem so bad? All right, it goes down from World War II. We're talking 80 years ago. After World War II, a lot of the buildings in Tokyo were made of wood. And I'm making a video on this. One of the next ones I release will be on the 1945 firebombing of Tokyo. And on that day, one of the reasons Tokyo went up in smoke was because the entire city was made of wood, all the buildings. And now it's all cement. After World War II, everything was like cement boxes, and we don't have that problem. Thus, when they replanted Western Tokyo for lumber, they didn't realize that in 20 years, they weren't going to use any of it. So now nothing is getting cut down because it's too expensive to do that. And every spring, those 80-year-old trees come to roost, and they release their pollen into the air in a massive pollen attack onto the city of Tokyo. So there were large-scale planting of cedar after the war, resulting in vast forests now release excessive pollen. It's too and Japan imports its trees for lumber from Thailand because it's cheaper to get it from Southeast Asia and from China than it is to actually cut it down and bring it just a few kilometers, well, maybe like 100 kilometers from the west of Tokyo. The urban heat, we don't have that today, and the air pollution, that can be an issue too, but the wind is definitely blowing this stuff all into my eyes. My eyes are really screaming right now. I used to have like these goggles, but then I saw I look kind of ridiculous, and so it didn't really make a lot of sense to do that. All right, here are the common symptoms if you don't know what I'm talking about. Sneezing, runny, stuffy nose, itchy, watery eyes. That's what I got right now. Mostly that's it. Throat irritation and fatigue. I do feel fatigue from this, I'm just worn down because my body's trying to fight it off like it's some sort of invasion in my body, really. And depending on how bad it is, my throat will get raspy. You can smell it. You can smell it. That's a shout out to, Eddie Murphy's Delirious, right? You can smell it. You can smell it. So you wear the mask. The PETA masks are really good because the pollen is a little bit bigger than, let's just say, a virus. So the PETA masks, which are these soft, really comfortable masks actually, they look pretty good too. They're really good for reducing the amount of pollen some will get in. And an N95 if you want no pollen or anything, including air. It's really hard to breathe through those things. You can use eye drops and nasal sprays. I don't do that, but a lot of people do. Stay indoors on high pollen days. That's pretty extreme, but there are people who suffer so bad that they do that. Air purifiers, definitely. Kanai yesterday yelled at me. She goes, "Dad, what are you doing?" I said, what? And she goes, "Don't put the laundry outside, too much pollen." She doesn't talk exactly like that, but I said, "Oh, right." So I brought the laundry inside and we had to dry it inside there and close all the windows because the pollen gets in the clothes and then it irritates everybody even more. So air purifiers and laundry care. This is only for maybe another week or so, but it kind of goes into April for sure. The air purifiers certainly help, but you need more than one. Let me just put it to you like that. Yeah, on bad days, one is not enough. It'll help you sleep. How bad is the pollen in the air today? So I think that they do a pretty good job of searching the web and getting information here. Right now we have extremely high levels of cedar pollen, and the JWA had forecasted the peak season to begin in late February, around February 20th. So it's kind of going on right now. It's just really hard to breathe in Tokyo. And you might not feel it for the first couple of days, but your body starts to get run down from it. And certainly if you live here and you're a resident of Tokyo, every day getting pounded by it, it does impact you. And I look forward to like the end of March every single year. I can't wait for April. My gosh, even the rainy season, anything is better than right now with the wind. My throat hurts too, which does not mean. And you know what? When you have the pollen in the air like this, I think you really do feel like you've got a cold, or you feel like a cold is coming on, or you feel sick. And that's something I think that is really confusing for a lot of people. It's not always sickness. It's not always influenza or a cold. It's more like, sorry about that. That kind of ran a little long. It's more about the pollen and your body reacting to it. So take precautions. Seriously, protect yourself, because everybody here, they're wearing masks in Japan again, not for the reasons that you think. People wear masks, especially at this time. Now, let's go zoom in here. After living through, you can see the tourists versus the locals. There's a lot of tourists in this area, in front of, in the back of Tokyo Station. But the locals protect themselves. And I threw all my masks away because I lived through that era. I'm like, I don't want another face diaper. I'm done with that. Only if I'm sick and I want to prevent people from getting sick, because I'm sick and I have to ride the subway, will I wear a mask. But other than that, I'm not going to wear it. I don't like masks. I don't think anybody does who doesn't come from this culture. But you can see locals, they do have masks on, and that's sort of it's sort of a thing right now, because it's not sickness, it's pollen. It's pollen. And they have these special glasses. I usually wear them. Like I don't know if you can see it, they're red. They look red. That was a little too close. That was too close. How do I get? All right, zoom out. Sorry, it's really red. I feel, I literally feel like I have a cold, but I can also know because of the raspiness that it's the pollen. Oh man. Time to use that cucumber face pack as well, because the dryness in the air is pretty bad as well. Just a shout out to our postcard clubs. I'm going to show you a little bit more of the The maps here, it's incredible that they do this, the maps here. But for everybody who supports on Patreon, I want to say thank you. You guys are helping me with my Nagasaki episode, what I'm doing down there, and I'll bring you live on this channel. But these are the ume blossoms from the Mito Garden, which is one of the top 3 gardens, and I've sent these out today to all of you on our Patreon postcard club. I cannot say thank you enough. And I'll try to give you some shout outs in the main channel episodes at the end as well. I've asked people if they don't mind if their name gets put up there or their nicknames or something. So we're gonna work it out because I wanna say thank you to all of you, because I can't to make the main channel episodes without the support of our Patreon community. So I'm so appreciative of this. It's huge stuff. It's amazing to me that I usually go to Tenki.com, or the Japan Meteorological Agency. But they have so much information on this because so many people in Japan suffer. They get so many page views on this kind of material, on pollen, on kafunsho. And this is a good way to study kanji, Hokkaido on the very left, Kyushu on the very right, up there. Then you can break it down into Kanto, which is the region I'm in. Tokyo-to is on the top. And you can see 17, 18, 19. There's Shinjuku, the second one down. So let's go from central Tokyo here. You can see five bars. That means it's super strong. And then it gets okay on Wednesday, and then on Thursday back to super strong, and the rest of the week super strong. And the reason why it might be slightly weak is because of rain. The pollen can't get through the rain or it washes it away. But the problem is it's still inside your house. It's still inside your house. So we vacuum like twice a day to get it out. I love the colored maps of Japan, and you can see the green one, Ishikawa, is doing okay. Miyagi Prefecture is in the red there, but 66% of the country is super strong right now. And then 13% is strong. We say oi, like there's a lot of this crap in the air. And then Hokkaido is in the clear, which is a reason to live in Hokkaido, I think. Avoid pollen. Somebody just asked about, I can bring up another map. Somebody asked about the Kansai area, Osaka. Osaka right now, you can see the map here. Sendai's on the top, Tokyo is the second one. Sugi and Hinoki, which are the cypress trees. Oh my God, they're the worst. You can see the dates, but they really do start in Tokyo. I'm telling you, around, it's also Butakusa, which is this kind of grass which releases a lot of pollen. That really hits me hard. I don't know why Butakusa is so nasty to me, but around the 20th of February, and then it goes on in Tokyo all of March. And then at the end of March, you get the Hinoki, right? What is that? I can't remember which one is Hinoki. They're both bad. And that'll go on for a little bit. That's not as bad as the Sugi, but the Sugi is wicked. It's wicked stuff, all right? Kansai is in the middle. You see Osaka. It's most of March. It's not as bad as Tokyo because of the trees that are planted in Western Tokyo. It just compounds the pain because there's just so much of it. Nihonio's in the house. Hey, wear a mask. I'm not gonna do that. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I used to make fun of, during that era, there were like Japanese live streamers. No one's around. No one's in the area, but they'd still be wearing a mask. I get it. I mean, but I don't know. That face diaper era, just nobody looks good in a face mask except for a doctor. And even then, Peter and I would talk about this a little bit, like, the genies in the Middle East, they wear the face coverings. What was it? I Dream of Genie. I can't remember all the crazy conversations that we have over the years. But I remember when you have the face mask, this is before I got married. The face masks, you'd see women that have such beautiful eyes, right? They have such beautiful eyes. And you don't know what's underneath there because they have this face mask on there. So there's a massive air of mystery. As you sit on the subway, there's really not a lot for you to do if your smartphone battery runs low. So you're kind of just looking around at the ads, and you start looking at the people around you. And you're like, people have beautiful eyes here. They really do. And then when they take off the mask, you can see maybe, some people need some dental work, or I don't know. But the masks in those cases, I've been told that a lot of I'm not Japanese, but a lot of Japanese, in particular girls, if they get like a zit, or if they have, something, I don't care so much about it, but if they have a problem with their teeth, they'll wear a mask more often than not, just because it avoids people doing nonverbal judgmental thinking. And then here I am on the train looking at people's eyes and wondering, boy, I wonder what's underneath that mask. I'm just kind of curious. Well, during the pollen season, you can play this game as well, but it's not really much of a game. But don't go staring at people on the train. That's not nice to do. And don't take pictures on the train, too. That's another thing. A lot of Westerners ask me about that after I talked about this. It's one of the reasons there's a voyeurism problem where people take pictures of other people and then they like obsess over them. There's some weirdos here. Every year people get arrested taking upskirt pictures and things like this. So it's kind of you've seen them, anybody who reads manga or anime probably sees this. There's an issue with the culture here with photographing in public, which is why you shouldn't be doing that. America is a special place where you can take pictures of people in public, but don't ever, like, this is fine what I'm doing here, but don't ever zoom in on people or put them on the spot and then just start taking them and make them like identifiable and put them on the spot. But being outside and this, you don't have to blur faces like this, but if you are really close up and you're publishing this stuff, then that's a no-no. It's kind of common sense stuff, but just remember when in particular for Americans, when you leave America, I'm in a public spot, it doesn't apply to you. Not anymore. It doesn't apply to Japan, I'm sorry. You are not in America anymore, and you just can't do that. So there you go. I had to learn this stuff as well. You learn, but foreign countries, foreign rules, different everything. Oh, she's got one of those. She's got one of those Otani. You see that? I was at the Tokyo Dome today. I think today is the last day for the merchandise here. If you didn't see it, I made a live stream on this. But everywhere in Tokyo right now, the merch is incredible. I don't know if you guys saw this. I did a video going inside of the store there. But there's so much really cool stuff. The Tokyo series goes on, I think the Dodgers play the Cubs. Is it today or tomorrow? Really soon. But the merch and the stuff here is just amazing. I'm seeing it all over the city right now. I didn't play this one, but at the Tokyo Skytree, they have so many exhibits going on right now for this Tokyo series. It's kind of cool to see right now. They need some Tokyo series allergy medication. I wonder how the players are doing. Some of them must be suffering. Some of them must be suffering. It's really harsh right now. Hey, Bubba Cola. In the future, will you consider live use stream to do 4K live streaming, fundraising, perhaps to upgrade? I'm not going to do anything that requires me to make a backpack. I can't see much of a difference on the TVs that most of them upscale. Most TV broadcasts are only HD right now. I kind of like these questions about the technology because I'm in on it. I used to do the YouTube app, but they don't have HEVC, which is an encoding that's more efficient. So I have to use this Prism app because it allows me to use HEVC, which means half the bandwidth for 1080p, which is a big improvement over 720p on these TVs because it's double and then. But if you're doing 1080p, I don't really see much of a difference live streaming in 4K, and there's no advantage to having a backpack. And to be honest with you, this is a supplement to my main channel, which I want to prioritize this year. I like to bring you with me on these live streams, and this is a way for me to connect with everybody. But I'm not going to invest in live streaming, and as it stands right now with live streaming in Japan, let me just be honest with you. It's not on the up and up right now. It looks like we're going to have regulation and stuff. Amanda Main, do you have a post box or package pickup place? I'm working on a painting. Oh, that's so nice. You know what? Contact me on Instagram. Send me a message on Instagram, and we can talk about it. But I don't have a PO box that's public because I was talking with some authority figures on this, and if somebody wanted to get you in trouble, all they had to do was send you something that was banned in Japan, and you would be responsible, apparently. So it's something that some YouTubers do it, but for international stuff, you can get in some trouble if somebody tried to send you something that was like banned or illegal, like drugs or something. That could really hurt hard. Can you explain why baseball is so big in Japan, Super Mr. Crazy Man? Yeah, I'll do that in a second. Hold on a second. I thought that this was really, did I take a screenshot of this? I don't know if I did. Maybe I don't have it, but I'll do another episode on this, maybe because it's worth talking about. I'm walking over to my bicycle this way so we can live stream a little bit longer. But baseball's popular in Japan because because Major League Baseball at the time, I think it was like 1913, they had Major League Baseball players coming to Japan. There are some amazing photos of Babe Ruth. I love the Babe. He was my favorite player growing up because I think kids just love Babe Ruth. I don't know. And he loved kids because he was an orphan and he grew up, and he used to get a chair. Players don't do this now. It's all about making money. But he used to get a chair, sit it down, and then a line of kids would line up, and he would just sit there all day signing baseballs and signing stuff for kids. You know, and he didn't do it for money. I hate the fact that autographs is now a business as it is, but back in the day, you know, he was a huge. But he was, when you see the photos of Babe Ruth, right here actually. There's a famous picture of him with the Marunouchi side in the background, and he's in a convertible car in a parade going this direction, and he's got that big Babe Ruth smile on it with his straw hat. I think it was a straw hat or a hat like I'm wearing right now. Man, those are some awesome pictures. And then he was infamous in Japan. He was so famous in Japan. So in World War II, when the Japanese were captured by the Americans, from what I was told from, I think it was my great uncle, who was here during the occupation, I believe. He had a lot of stories. Some of them he repeated many times because, I don't know, he was losing his mind back then. He said that they would say, like, F Babe Ruth, because he was such an American hero. Of course he wasn't playing anymore, but that's like, how do you hurt the Americans? Tell them that their greatest baseball player sucks. So that's what I was told during the war area. During the occupation, not so much, because the Japanese really loved the troops here that were stationed. They thought they were going to be really bad, and they ended up being super nice. It was such a great strategy. So that's how baseball started. There was a player in Shizuoka, I believe. This goes down to Japanese baseball folklore. I should make an episode on this. He went up against Babe Ruth in like the teens in the 1920s? Was it 30s? I can't remember. It was 100 years ago. And he struck out Babe Ruth, Japanese pitcher. And it got so much attention. He became a national hero striking out Babe Ruth. So like, I really love the history of it. This might be in the Hall of Fame at the Tokyo Dome, if you haven't gone over there, this story. But there's so many stories about Major League Baseball players coming to Japan. I don't know why. But I'm glad that you asked that. It's fantastic. So there is such a huge affinity for baseball here, and you have to go back to the Babe, who was our greatest diplomat at the time, Babe Ruth. It's kind of cool. You know who honeymooned here? Joe DiMaggio and Marilyn Monroe honeymooned at the hotel, Imperial Hotel, which is going to be undergoing renovations. I think it's starting pretty soon, if not already. Just about a 5-minute walk from here. You can see the pictures in the lobby of Joe DiMaggio and Marilyn Monroe on their honeymoon. Of course, they got divorced. Apparently, Joe was kind of a tough guy. I shouldn't be laughing, but uncomfortable. Anyways, that's kind of history over there. Hopefully my bicycle is still over across the street in front of the post office. But thanks so much, and Super Mr. Crazy Man. Baseball is one of those. Baseball is one of those sports that constantly appears in manga and other sports. It is. I think soccer more recently, but baseball has always been, because in high school, and in junior high school, it's such a big part of the club sports. I guess American football would be in America like really huge. In Japan, it's baseball. The high school baseball tournament is the biggest. It's bigger than professional, I think. So it's something that I might cover this year. So thanks for bringing that up. I love that. I love the history behind baseball in Japan. I'll see you guys. I'm suffering right now. I got to pack. I'll be going to Nagasaki tomorrow morning. So I don't know if I'm going to do a live stream at the airport or at Nagasaki Airport. I've already done a live stream at Nagasaki Airport like in 2018. So I might do another, might just do some live streams over there. I'll take you with me on this channel, so make sure you subscribe. I really appreciate it, Saya. And too bad I won't be able to see, I don't know if I'll be able to see JKO Adventures. One of our moderators is here right now for the Dodgers Cubs Tokyo Series game. She was over in the Toyosu area, and she's actually staying at a hotel over there. And I don't think I'm going to be able to see her because it's just the timing doesn't work out very good. I got to get back and pack and try to finish up an edited video. And man, there's a lot of stuff going on. But if I don't see you, JKO Adventures, we got pretty close. We got pretty close. All right, everybody. That would be so cool. If I do and get a picture with her, maybe I'll come out, see if I can come out tonight. I don't know. Maybe she'll come out to my neighborhood, but if I do, I'll get a picture and I'll share it with you, with everybody. She's not here by herself. She's with other people, so that's another thing. She's now in Tokyo. There's my bike across the street, parked illegally. So I'm glad it's still there. It's where Leo sits in the back. It's riding, free ride. All right, mata ne.